Hi everyone, it's Dr. Ryan. If you have sacro-iliac pain, then there's a set of 4 exercises that I think would be perfect for you. Sacro-iliac pain, that's the person who, when they go to get out of the chair, they find their hand go to the back of their hip. So this is not for pain on the side of the hip. This is not for pain down through the middle part of your spine, but it's when it feels like it's right over top of the butt. The sacroiliac joint is one that connects the pelvis to the spine and is the one that if you feel for a bump at the back here, that's the top part of that joint. So if you feel like the pain is right there and you have a hard time getting up and standing and straightening up, this is the exact 4 exercises for you. So I have Landis with me today, future chiropractor, and he's going to demonstrate a couple exercises. So you would lay down onto your back, and the first thing we have to do is we have to open up that sacroiliac joint. And so we're going to do 2 separate exercises first. So the first one will be you're going to bring your leg up into this position, and then you're going to take your hands to the outside, and you're going to try and push against your hands. And so you try and push. Now don't let your leg rotate like this. Keep your leg like this. In fact, if you want, you can actually rotate the foot in. That'll really stretch out the side. And so right now, he's holding his leg from trying to push that way. And you're going to hold that for 5 seconds. And then you relax. Move your hands to the inside of the leg, and now he's trying to push his leg in this direction. Go ahead. And so he's pushing against resistance. He's not moving the joint, but he's activating all of the muscles that create the movement in that joint. And relax. And then you come up and do the other leg, and you would do each of those 3 times. So pushing out, pushing in. On the other leg, pushing out, pushing in. That would count as 1 cycle. You would do that 3 times. Okay? So then we need to open up the side portion of that joint. So to do that, we need to activate what are called the lateral stabilizers. So the way this one works, you're going to lie on your side with your body in a straight line, and you're going to raise the upper leg towards the ceiling, but you're going to point your toes at the ground. And so you're going to raise it up as high as you can, and you'll feel it activate the outside part of that joint. And down. And then you lift it again. You're just going to do 10 leg raises to the top and down. And if you wanted to do a more advanced version of it, you would do it with your back against a wall. And as you raise up, you'd be pushing against that wall all the way as your foot goes up as well and down. And you'll notice that as soon as you turn the foot in, you really can't get as much range as you would as if you opened up the hip. But I don't want the hip opening up, so toes stay pointing down. So these lateral leg raises, you would do 10 times each side, and only 1 set of that, but 10 times on each side. So now you've activated, go ahead, you've activated the rotators and the lateral stabilizers of that sacroiliac joint. So now we want to create some strength and stability through the front part here. And so we're going to do what's called a glute bridge. So a glute bridge is where your feet go together, your hips come up towards the ceiling, and you can put your hands for support underneath, and you're creating this bridge. Now, for some people, that will be all that you can do, and that's great. That's a good start. But the better version and more advanced version of it is going to be the glute bridge march. So you're going to pick a foot up and down, and other side up and down, and you would do 10 marching steps. You can relax the hips there. Now he makes that look very easy, but it's actually really hard. So you try that at home, you'll realize your body wants to go from side to side, so the internal stabilizers of the pelvis will activate and strengthen. Because one of the things that the sacroiliac joint is mostly ligamentous, but it's governed by a lot of large muscles. For most people, they have lots of muscles in the legs and the butt, but not nearly enough in all the small stabilizers. So this is going to work all of that. So you're going to do that, and you'll do 10 marching steps. If you can't do the marching steps, just hold that glute bridge for 20 to 30 seconds. And then the last one is going to be able to move that sacrum, which is the middle part of the sacroiliac joint. We're going to pressure that forward. So this is called I think it's called a clamshell bridge or a clam bridge. I don't necessarily know all the names, I just know which ones to do. And so what you do is you lay on your back, and you actually put your feet so that the bottoms of the feet touch each other. Same thing, you'll push the hips up in the air, hands will go underneath, and in this position, you're trying to force your knees as far apart as you can. And so you're forcing them apart and you're pushing the hips forward. And what you'll do is you'll hold that for 20 to 30 seconds and go all the way down. Perfect, and you can let your legs relax. Sacroiliac pain is something that affects a lot of different people. I'm confident that if you did this on a regular basis, not only would you get that pain less often because you're stronger, but it'll help you out of a crisis if you happen to be in one. If you have any questions, just put them below. Again, I'm Dr. Ryan French. It's been a pleasure.